gamers? Welcome to another Solana circuit. This is Solana circuit number 30. Can't believe we're already at 30 of these live streams. It's absolutely insane that we've gotten to this point. David, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing very well, dude. I can't believe we made it to 30 of these things. We've been going for a minute, brother.
We have. And this is a monumental Solana circuit, actually, because this is the biggest Solana circuit we've ever had. We are talking with some of the members of Superteam Balkan, which we're going to be talking about them a little bit. We got a guy from Jurassic Finance. We got a guy from Ownership FM. It's going to be a stacked Solana circuit today. I hope we can get to all the things we want to get to today. So why don't we just get into it? Let's kick it off with intros. We'll start with OZG. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what's your favorite color?
Hello, everyone, and thanks for inviting me here. I'm Marco, the second Marco of Superteam Balkan, Superteam Balkan's core team, actually. So I work at Superteam Balkan for 2 years now, and right now I'm leading marketing and communications.
Cool. Great to meet you. Great to have you on the stream. How many Marcos do you have? I know we were talking about this a little bit before we went live.
Actually, 3 Marcos. One is co-lead with together with Mattia, and the other one is our content ninja.
Gotcha.
Called Robots, but he's Marco as well.
That's gotta get confusing. How did you just call each other Marco 1, 2, and 3, or how does that work?
No. We have our nicknames.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, glad to have you on here, man.
Pleasure.
Sora, why don't we hear from you? Who are you? What do you do? And what's your favorite food? I don't know.
Yeah, sure thing. So my name is Sora. I'm also part of Superteam Balkan. I've been in crypto since like 20. Always been a huge fan of RWAs. I worked at a RWA project for 3 years in marketing. They were specializing in tokenizing farming commodities. Then for a year, I was doing some freelance marketing, biz dev work. And I've tried content creation, got bored of it, noticed the tokenization movement on Solana, noticed the motion MetaDAO has, and then everything just fell in place, and I started Jurassic. And my favorite food, I like waffles. They're pretty cool.
Waffles are very based. Waffles are very based.
I have half of a waffle sitting in the other room right
Pretty
now,
good.
waiting for the end of this stream. So right there with you, brother.
The only thing that's going to be on David's mind this stream is the waffle in the other room. That's
I'm gonna
it.
be so distracted, man.
Amen.
Vukan, why don't you give an intro on yourself? What do you do?
Hey, thank you for having me, Vukan here. So I made 3 different things. First is obviously Jurassic Finance. Together with Sora, we founded this a few months ago, and now, I mean, we have the first Dinosaur Labs company on Solana with our ownership coin. So Jurassic is a wonderful project we have where we tokenize dinosaurs and then lend them out to museums and all that good stuff. Second is Ownership, which is the media company covering ownership coins and everything in the MetaDAO ecosystem, together with 8-Bit Penis. I mean, I love MetaDAO, love the ownership ecosystem. I think it's the biggest thing to happen to crypto probably since stablecoins. So I'm super bullish on it. And my longest standing project, Blockformer, which is my Solana marketing agency, have been running this for like 3 years in the background, and recently had some more time thanks to AI and hiring some wonderful talent that can fully focus on Jurassic and on ownership. And yeah, holistically, these 3 projects are kind of like what makes what I am.
Awesome, dude. I may have stolen this from a short form video I saw recently, but we don't talk enough about dinosaurs. I feel like that's why did that stop when we were all kids?
Well, I mean, if we want to say the most basic answer, well, it's because it's an asset class that you cannot get into anymore. Because if you want to buy a dinosaur that's like $1 million, you probably need to have between 50 and 100 million in net worth. And the jump between like, oh, you're just a little kid that just got a dinosaur and a Happy Meal or some socks, to like, oh, you need to have at least 100 million in net worth to be able to have this asset. It's a big disconnect. So with Jurassic, we're literally like democratizing access to this type of asset class. But I would, Sora can definitely share more.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool. I guess we can just start off by addressing the dinosaur in the room. Sora, why don't you kind of give us the lowdown on what Jurassic Finance is? You guys made a pretty big splash. It was a couple of weeks ago, I believe. I saw you all over my timeline. What is this about investing in dinosaurs?
It's not investing in dinosaurs. It's actually buying contractual rights to a dinosaur. So what we're doing is we're acquiring dinosaurs. We're opening an SPV. For the SPV, a special purpose vehicle, basically a company that's only purpose is to hold the asset. Then one SPV holds one dinosaur. Then we democratize asset with contractual rights, which are tied to the tokens. We do the raise. You have tokens that represent the SPV. So basically, you just bought rights to a dinosaur. So you kind of own it. So that's kind of what we do.
That is very cool. I mean, I personally have never thought about like the potential upside in dinosaur bones, but I believe you guys said in your marketing copy, like it's one of the most underrated appreciating assets of all time. Like nobody looks at this.
Exactly. Yeah, because we've been looking at, like wine, whiskey, fine art, Pokemon cards, everything, but dinosaurs are literally outperforming every single one of them. Like they have proven to bring back 10 to 50% each year. And then every few years, there's a new dinosaur discovered, a new huge auction happens, and then all other dinosaur assets jump like in value, like the Stegosaurus in 2024. Ken Griffith bought a Stegosaurus that was evaluated at just 6 million. And he bought it for 44 million. And this is not like a super rare occurrence. Like if you go to Sotheby's website right now and look at the big dinosaur auctions, the lowest amount that was sold was like at least 2x of the original evaluation. And every time this crazy event happens and the dinosaur is bought up for like much more than it should have been, the whole market jumps because the supply is so low. I like to say it, the supply is so low that in NFT terms, buying just one is like sweeping the floor.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy actually. So I'm a big sports fan, big NFL guy. My team is the Bengals, and their quarterback actually last year I think he bought like some dinosaur fossils for his teammates. I don't think he was buying like complete complete skeletal structures or anything like that, because like you said, that's a pretty penny right there. But that was the first time I'd ever heard of somebody I was like, wait, you can just do that? I thought they were all like in museums and stuff.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
but again, those. I'm sorry.
Oh no, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so see that's true. Like it depends what kind of dinosaur you buy for the value. Like you can buy probably Spinosaurus toes for like 10K each, but that doesn't mean it's gonna appreciate much. What is usually a sign of appreciation is if it's pretty play, like aesthetic pleasing, can fit in a museum, and if it's good for scientific research. And they don't necessarily have to be both. Like the Big John Triceratops, it's huge. It's one of the biggest Triceratops had ever found, but they say it's not good for scientific research. Now, I'm not a scientist, so I'm not going to go deeper into that. But then it's a huge museum piece. So again, it can, appreciate highly in value. And if you look at the other assets, like those huge leg, it may have more bone mass than like a smaller skull, but the smaller skull is still more valuable because it's prettier to display.
So is there a world where someone could use Jurassic Fi to actually like acquire these pieces of a dinosaur? Like if they purchase enough,
well, they can acquire shares because they're still going to have a percentage. But if you're looking to acquire a whole piece from Jurassic Finance, then you have to make an offer. Then we make a Futarchy proposal from our governance strategy of the ROR token, and then basically the Futarchy decides if we're going to accept that offer or not. But it has to go through us first because we have advisors that are professional in both paleontology work and the museum work, so we can give a pretty good evaluation, so that nobody can come and be like, hey, I want to buy a dinosaur for $100, and of course markets won't allow that. But yeah, it would have to go through us first. It wouldn't be possible to just buy out the whole token.
Very sick. Thank you, Chief Dino Officer. which is a completely base title, by
Of
the way.
course.
Marco, I'd
Thanks,
love to
thanks.
chat a little bit about Superteam Balkan. So Superteam, I mean, one of the most widely recognized names on Solana. It's the model for really every crypto ecosystem on how you like start a real developer community and just start a community in general. I don't think anybody has done it as good as the Superteam system has on Solana. Like they have done an amazing job. For the people who aren't super familiar with super teaming, kind of what it does, could you explain like what exactly is super team? What does it mean to be a member? And I'd love to get all of your guys' take on like what it means to be a member of Superteam Balkan and how it's helped you.
First, I'd like to start with just one small question. Have you ever seen more passionate founders about their project than Sora and Vukan?
It's very hard to find. Very hard to find.
Bro, this is I can explain them, but I move forward to super team stuff. So basically, Super Team Balkan is part of the global super team network of I think around 25 super teams right now. So the last one opened is I think Super Team USA, and it's huge. It's their headquarters is in Miami. So Super Team works as a global and community and regional chapter of Solana. So we are growing our own regions and countries. So the Serbia and Croatia were so small to be like separate countries. So we united into Balkans again. We had a country in the past. If you know, you know. But we are
And we won't talk
united.
about all that. We won't talk about all that.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. I'm just kidding. We always we are always kidding about we are always joking on that stuff. So we are helping the most promising founders from our region, like, and we are constantly educating new people and new developers to become the part of our community, to try to become founder, to grow to build their startup. So every super team has their own grant pool for those kind of projects, but not only startups. You can like be a content creator for your own chapter, for example. And what was the question? I remember just the first part. Sorry.
It was kind of like I was asking, you know, what exactly is a super team and what does it mean to be a member of a super team?
Okay, I understand. So I'll try to explain it like really in a really simple way. So it's like becoming a part of a family in member circle. So it's like a curated group of people, really curated group of people. It's around super team has around 115 members right now, I'm not sure, and we are purging them sometimes because someone becomes inactive and adding new ones. So it's a curated group of people from our community, which Super Team Balkan has around 2,000 people in its community, but the member circle is a bit smaller, and every super team works the same way, has its own member circle, I would say. And like it's a small and curated group of people that like pushes each other constantly. So for example, you have like founder of Soulflare is member at Super Team Balkan. So imagine having a group chat with that kind of guy, where you can ask him basically anything and he will help you. So I think that's simple enough to understand what it means to be a super team member.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the biggest struggles for like first-time founders or, you know, maybe developers who are new to the ecosystem or anything. It's just, dude, like, where do I find, you know, these resources? And some of these things, you know, it's gotten easier with AI, but questions like, hey, you know, how should I think about hiring? Like, should I hire a marketing guy or should I hire like a BD guy? Should I, just all these questions that maybe, I know what I'm good at and I have this product idea, but then how do I turn it into a business is like a whole different question, right? And that's
yes, exactly. And yeah, and people are constantly coming to us with their new ideas. So we are always like thinking about someone else's idea to like, we could connect you with this guy. You should speak to that guy from the Solana Foundation. You should speak to that guy from Helios, and it works as a huge network of well connected people. So if you need anything, you will go to your local super team and ask them, and it will be like done for you.
Yeah, that's just incredibly valuable.
Yeah, that's huge. I'd love to get Vukan and Sora's take. What has being a member of Superteam Balkan kind of done for your guys' careers, even with Jurassic Finance? Like, do you think being a member of Superteam Balkan has helped with the growth of Jurassic Finance at all, or any of the other projects you're working on?
Yeah, I'll share more on the personal side, and I'd love for Sora to share more on how they supported us with Jurassic, because Jurassic would not be what it is without the help of Superteam Balkan. We wouldn't get the acceleration, the traction as fast as we did without them. And like, we need a whole segment just to thank them for what they've done to us, and I would love for Sora to do that. But I also, for myself, want to share my story with Superteam Balkan. I joined in the summer of 24, and it was actually quite a little bit random. At the time, I've been already doing YouTube in Serbian for crypto, onboarding the Serbian crypto community for already a few years. And I just got a random call DM from Marco, which is the lead, Marco the lead. And he just DM'd me and he told me about what Super Team is. And we just got on a random call as soon as he texted me. And I was like, love the idea, love what they're doing. They actually have an office in Belgrade, and I'm sitting there right now. Actually, Sora is sitting there as well right now. So the first thing that we got was just this beautiful office that we could come, every week, work, and just meet other people in the community. And after that, it just evolved into more and more stuff, like organizing some events. They helped us with personal grants. I participated in hackathons. This was before Jurassic or anything. Just as someone who wanted to learn more about the ecosystem, they supported so much. And now, like, after like 2 years, we have a super close relationship. We still come to this office every week. We work together. We play Mario Kart together. We go on conferences. We were just at Solana Summit Germany with the whole crew. So kind of you get to go to an event, but you have this event that's going to be like 1,000 people, but you have this crew of 20 people who are like your group wherever you're going around the globe, because Solana is global, but you always have this piece of your own your own culture to take with you anywhere you're going, because it's Superteam Balkan really embodies the Balkans, the love, the support for everyone. There's no barrier between you and this top guy, because we're kind of all on the same level at the end of the day. And that's what here Ozheg mentioned, like we just got added into like group with the founder of Solflare, and we could just chat about anything kind of. So the opportunities they give us are incredible. One last thing I'd like to highlight is, for example, 2 weeks ago, thanks to Superteam, I was invited to speak at one of the biggest universities in Serbia, to speak on MetaDAO and on ownership and everything that's like new in Solana and crypto in 2026. And I was just invited. And it was like a beautiful opportunity for me. And they kind of get no benefit there for themselves. They just wanted to support me. And it's just so many fantastic things that they bring. Couldn't be happier and more satisfied with the support we get.
That's amazing. And that's really cool that you guys get to be connected with like profiles like the founder of Soulflare, which, by the way, the Solana ecosystem call interview they did with the founder of Soulflare was so funny.
Yeah, that was in this
so
office.
funny.
That was in the office. We're there right now. So it's right here. It was recorded right here.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's unreal what they do at the ecosystem call. It's pretty cool. Is Simon, the co-host, he's also a member of Superteam Balkan. Is he not? He is a member? That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes, he is a member 0 actually.
Oh, really?
Wow. Okay.
Yes, yes. Actually, the member zero. He came like to our first hackathon in Split, to our first build station actually, with his project. I think it was Solana ID at that time. It wasn't something else. It was Solana ID actually.
Yeah, man,
And
it's been
he became member zero actually.
yeah, that was a while ago, Solana ID. Yeah. Okay.
We've actually had him on the Solana circuit before he was famous on the
True.
ecosystem calls. I mean, humble brag, but I don't want to say that we made Simon, but I feel like we kind of made Simon David.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I'm pretty sure Simon made himself. He's kind of that kind of guy. You know what I mean? But you know, yeah. I mean, we like doing the same thing here too. I mean, you know, find interesting people, connect them, and you know, also we do what we can, and you know, help people get their names out there if possible, to whatever we can do for the audience there. But I had another question that I wanted to ask you guys. Sorry, where did it go? What I wanted to talk a little bit about like ownership and ownership tokens, because like MetaDAO and Futarchy and like ownership tokens, like these kind of ideas are all really taking off, and I feel like a lot of people maybe don't understand these things super well right now. Can you kind of talk about what this model looks like in general, and how it like just and what it can, what sort of possibilities it can unlock for people, for projects, and you know, why it's a big deal?
Yeah, I can give a overall introduction, and then Sora can probably even go deeper on Jurassic as kind of the case study. But the reason why MetaDAO is so massive is because of two different things. It's two basic things. The fundraising they model that they have is absolutely fantastic, which allows anyone to invest at the same valuation. And then after the limit is hit and it starts being oversubscribed, at that moment people can deposit even more, and they're just going to get a pro rata refund back to them. So it's a way, first off, the fundraising that they do with MetaDAO, the system that they use is beautiful. Second is obviously Futarchy. The idea behind MetaDAO is that it's a platform that funds new ideas and things that's absolutely like exotic, and that's super different, super new. And you can see that not just in Jurassic, but obviously the previous launches like peer-to-peer, and Avicii and Umbra and all those projects, they're like doing something quite different. And the reason they're able to run the way they do is thanks to the ownership model, and the MetaDAO structure, which is the governance with Futarchy. That's the second beautiful thing, which is you have as a team specific monthly allowance that you allot yourself. But then after, if you want to use more money, you need to make a Futarchy proposal. And that's essentially saying that the market is the absolute best decider for a decision. So instead of having someone with a lot of the supply, or delegating these big company decisions, you give it up to the market, and then people can buy, pass, or fail, and with that they can do voting. And then the last massive thing that MetaDAO specifically gives, and this ownership model gives, is full ownership over the raised funds. So the team cannot rug. You're raising for an idea, you get this treasury, and the treasury becomes tokenized. It goes into a SPV that's tokenized and owned by the token holders. So essentially, the token holders own the treasury, which is the funds with which the team operates, and they're kind of they own this treasury where all the revenue of the company then goes back to. So it's a lot of different things that MetaDAO is bringing. We're also seeing a lot of different projects also trying to do their own version of the launchpad. So we have Crafts, we have Start Fun, we have many more. But I mean, we've seen that MetaDAO is the only one that really has generated projects that give big returns, that execute very well. So I mean, ownership massive for me. That's the biggest thing that's been that happened in crypto since stablecoins, and I'm just super bullish on it.
Yeah, it was actually crazy. I got the chance to meet MetaProfit back when, like, before this was a couple of years ago, actually, and it was at a complete, like, not even a crypto event. It was it had to do with trading, actually. And I had never heard of MetaDAO or anything like that. And I think this was I think it was right before they had their first project like raise or launch. And I can't remember what the project was, but I was talking with him a little bit, and I was like, okay, like, cool. It turns out we've seen each other on Twitter before. Cool to meet you, all that. And he was telling me about this. I was like, I mean, sounds kind of crazy, but if it works, that'll be cool. You know what I mean? And then here we are a couple years later. It's like, wow, this thing is just going. Like, it's really, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about MetaDAO like for hours, but the main thing, like what anyone asks, why MetaDAO? Well, simply look at the launches on MetaDAO, look at their performance since ICO, since the launch, and look at any other launchpad, look at any other centralized listing, centralized exchange listing, look at any other on-chain launchpad, anything you want. Every single one is like very down. Every single one is very, very, very down, except for MetaDAO. Launches are actually a lot higher than the ICO price. People are making money with MetaDAO. Even when you invest in a scam via MetaDAO, where a company gets liquidated, you also get back your money, sometimes make even more money. So it's just one of the most beautiful things in crypto. And the great thing is you have the numbers to back it up.
It's kind of what crypto was originally made for, right? Like, of course, it was global money that nobody could take away, like peer-to-peer transfers. You could transfer money across the planet, but there was also this romantic idea of you could actually own the assets, like own the underlying assets, and anybody can participate in these things. And it's shocking to me that we haven't really seen this idea come to fruition until very recently, when something like MetaDAO came around. And on
Yeah,
your
people
point,
say like Bitcoin is the decentralized money, right? MetaDAO is decentralized ownership. And if you think Bitcoin is big and is going to be even bigger, I mean, then you should probably think the same for MetaDAO and ownership.
100%, 100%. And we actually have a couple of founders who did a raise on MetaDAO very recently, Vukan and Sora. Sora, I'd love to hear your take. How did the raise for Jurassic Fi go on MetaDAO, and what were kind of your takeaways from that?
Yeah, it went amazing, as you saw. So we were raising 200K, and we closed it with 15.5 in commitments. But yeah, main issues people had with us raising on MetaDAO was like, oh, Futarchy proposals, but what if they don't pass? What if this? What if that? So I would say, before you raise, you need to know like what your next 10 proposals are gonna be. Because it's stupid to ask us like, oh, but what if it fails? When we literally said like, when we raise, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. So like the legal scaffolding proposal we had like a few weeks ago, we automatically knew it's gonna pass because we said we're gonna do it. And other than that, I think people need to realize that any platform like MetaDAO, StarCrafts, that is just a tool. It's up to you to actually raise. So like it doesn't matter where you raise, but you gotta get verbal commitments like 90% of the total raise before you even start. Just leave the rest for retail. And the platform you choose is most like you looking into what the investors are more comfortable with. Of course, for us, that's MetaDAO because of the anti-reg protection. And anti-reg protection is not for investors, it's for us. So we don't have to worry about like security of the treasury, people calling a scam or stuff like that. And it just sits the best with most amount of people, because also you have to token a certain amount. We tokenized 38.8%. And yeah, but again, it's just a platform. It's up to you to raise. Like you should not blame the platform if you fail to raise.
$15 million from a 200K raise like that. We're trying to raise 200K. That's insane.
Yeah,
That's absolutely insane.
Because our tokens are locked for 18 months. Our tokens are locked for 18 months, and then every 3 months there's a TWAP evaluation period. So we unlocked 20% every time a token does 2x. So we 2x, 20%, 4x, 40%, 8x, 6%, etc., etc. So it's better for us to raise lower and then trade higher on the secondary than to just raise more now and for the 40 and then wait for the 64x of I don't know, 1 million token.
I love that. And on Vukan's point he just made, we're seeing so many token launches kind of fail out of the gate. Ones that aren't raised at super low valuations, just because, I mean, one, we're in terrible market conditions. I think we can all agree that our portfolios are down horrific. We're losing money every day. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But another point is, like, this isn't 2021 anymore. You can't launch a meme coin and all of a sudden have it go to 5 billion market cap anymore. That just doesn't happen. But the exchanges want to list your token at a certain valuation, acting like it's still 2021. So it's just there's a lot of misaligned incentives in the crypto industry, and a lot of it has to do with these centralized intermediaries, which is why Solana is so exciting, because it genuinely feels like Solana is trying to eliminate the middleman, trying to make trading as good as it can be on a centralized exchange, but decentralized. Like we published an article, I think it was last week, but the spread on USDC Sol is like around 1 BPS versus 8 BPS on Binance. Like that's pretty significant, especially on chain versus a centralized exchange. So we're definitely making progress. It's really cool to see. But Marco, I'd love to hear, like, how did you get involved in Superteam Balkan? Were you one of the first members ever? Did you kind of just join and then get an official position at Superteam Balkan? Like, how has your journey been with that Superteam group?
Great question, but I think the answer will be a bit boring. So the other Marco, our lead, he had a group. It's called ZenDAO. It still exists, but it's dead. We were basically just degens, let's say, and NFT traders. No, not that into shitcoins, but just NFT traders. And there are many people that are smart, I would say, smart traders, but also smart about technology, about Solana. So we got into Solana deep, like really early, let's say. So we just understood where it will go in the future. So and then at breakpoint 2024, I think Marco, Josip, and Maria, three of them approached Cash. Cash was the global lead of Superteam, and they told him, hey Cash, we have a big community in the Balkans. Marco was like the main guy of it, and Josip was already a member of Superteam India. Imagine Josip from Croatia being a member of Superteam India. So and Mattia has still has his own dev shop with like 10 to 12 developers, Solana mainly. So they approached Cash and told him, so we have a huge community here in the Balkans. We have a good distribution. We know a lot of people. We know people at universities. We can do a lot of stuff here. And he was like, okay, let's go. Then they started, and after 2 months, I think they started creating bounties. So there is a platform, Superteam Earn, where you can. It's basically the largest freelance platform in, I think, in the whole Web3. Let's say. So I started doing content bounties for Superteam Balkan. So it was something like write a thread about Soulflare. So I created a really, really good one. So they decided like to take me to try to like be their intern for X. And then like I grew up from that intern position to the core team member. And then I just started leaving Superteam with all of them. So our lives today are just Superteam, and that's it. No one is working anything like besides Superteam.
Yeah, it's really cool. And we've talked about this a little bit before on other Solana circuit episodes with other guests and stuff, where it's just like the best way to get started in crypto is just show up, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
That was my case.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I think so many of us just got started, like wherever we ended up, and you know, and sometimes people have to move or whatever. And maybe your first place you show up isn't the right fit, but like, just it feels like almost everybody I talk to, it's just like, oh, you know, how'd you get started? Oh, I was just here. I thought this thing was interesting. I started like getting more involved, and eventually somebody started paying me. You know, like it's just such a common thread. I love the fact that it really is just this meritocracy type of thing. You know, like just go do it. Just go work. Like
we are that kind of industry. I'm telling people who ask me like how should I start, bro? Just join our Telegram group with like around 1,000 people. I'm not sure how many. So, and just introduce yourself. I'm Marco, I'm doing that, I would like to do that. I would like to speak with someone from Soulflare. There is always someone who you like interact with, and then it will like just grow exponentially, and that's it. It sounds easy, but it's not. People like feel a bit anxiety. I'm not sure why, as I am like feeling it right now because of this live stream. I'm not used to them. So, but
It's just us chatting, man. It's just us chatting. We're all good.
Yes. Yeah.
So would you encourage more Marcos to join Superteam Balkan, is what you're saying?
We are like hiring only Marcos.
It sounds like it. It sounds like
This
it.
reminds me of like
Yeah.
there's this one friend of mine. We were at the conference and I'm looking at this phone, and it's called Artem DAO, the chat on his Telegram. And I'm like, what is this? And this is a DAO of people that are only called Artem. And it's like a group chat of 30 people, and every single guy is Artem. How you join, you have to be Artem. And I'm like scrolling the chat, 30 guys, every single guy has Artem in the name. And that was really funny. So
there is something
this is
similar
Artem
in
DAO.
Serbia with there is something similar in Serbia with Jovans. I think it's a little bit like a well-known name, like from the history and from Christianity and all that stuff. So it's really famous name here in Serbia.
They don't get very creative with the names in the Balkans, do they?
I think no. we just have like Marco, Nicola, Jovan, Alexander.
I'm not allowed to comment on this one, but there are some creative names in the Balkans. I will not say anything else.
But I have to say, actually, Sora has like the most common
If you
first
know, you
name
know.
and the most common last name in Serbia, like the combination, which is really funny.
I'm the NPC here.
I was gonna say, don't dox him like that, man. Come on, don't.
That's hilarious. Vukan, while Marco mentioned running a live stream, which we are, I would love to chat about Ownership FM. Kind of what inspired you guys to start Ownership FM, and how does having this live stream or this podcast format kind of help amplify the builders that are building on MetaDAO?
Yeah, I'll give a little small introduction to Ownership, because it did start as a podcast when we started. The initial story is 8-Bit has been, I mean, the biggest KOL in this very, very, very small niche that we call MetaDAO and ownership coins on Solana, very small niche. And when he made a tweet about 6 months ago, just saying something like, I would love to open a podcast or something pretty basic. I saw that tweet and I immediately DM'd him. And because at the point I was already a little bit bullish, I was a little bit MetaDAO pilled, but it was super early, and already been running my marketing agency for a few years, where we essentially manage a lot of different Solana ecosystem projects, socials, and Twitter. And at this point, I wanted to experiment a lot more with my own content, and I was very, very into MetaDAO. So I just reached out to 8-Bit Penis. I was like, yo, I'll help with the production. You be the face of it, and let's grow it. And since then, now we have 5 different formats. So we have the podcast, obviously. We have radio, which has been going for 16 Sundays in a row, for 4 months in a row, every single Sunday from 3 p.m. UTC for about 2-3 hours. We have a weekly discussion on ownership coins. We have Roadshow, which is our best format, which is a monthly Shark Tank style pitch competition. We're having our next one this Friday. Actually, it's going to be, really, really fun. And Solana helps there with amplification, and it's a really fun format. And then we also have a forum, which is a more institutional type roundtable, so 30 minutes to 1 hour. We also do about once a month, once every other week. We just had one with Thea and the institutional players in the MetaDAO ecosystem, and also reports, which are just like pretty, random kind of news reports as soon as a big news comes out. For example, 2 days ago, MetaDAO just announced the newest permissioned raise, which is going to be Lasso Finance. As soon as that came out, we made a live stream with the founder and answered a lot of the investor questions. So the main goal is to bridge the gap between founders wanting to raise and investors wanting to invest. It's a very different world right? As someone here on the stream mentioned, people don't want to invest in meme coins at a 5 billion valuation anymore. I think I would be, a lot more stern and say that people don't want to invest in startups that are trying to raise multi-million valuations with an MVP and a team and a few users. Like, because of AI and everything, I would say the only moat right now, and the main moat, is the distribution and how can you rally people behind an idea, because we just got 15 million in commitments on MetaDAO on an idea. And on kind of few videos and edits, because we were able to rally so many people. But ownership is at its core here to bridge that gap between investors and founders, and kind of also give founders a place to go and to speak and to present their project, and then get a lot of fantastic feedback on how to iterate and then raise. Actually, with ownership, there's been multiple projects that have raised successfully. Besides Jurassic Finance, there's also GSIM, who are doing private eSIMs, and fantastic, innovation in the privacy in the privacy space. And ownership also supported them with the raise. So that's kind of the idea behind ownership. All different formats with the goal of helping fantastic founders raise and helping people and potential investors find really good projects.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the only moat in the age of AI where you can have Codex vibe code anything for you now. Like, if you have a good enough prompt, you can one shot a lot of software, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
And like, people refer to this really popular Twitter account, Levels.io. I don't know if you guys seen him around on Twitter.
Of course, with Nomad List and all his fantastic ideas.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast, and he has relatively simple ideas, but he puts them into products and he distributes them and he makes a ton of money off of them. And you could argue that, okay, why don't I just make the same exact product, give it a different name, and then I'll make the same amount of money as Levels.io? You won't, because you don't have the same distribution that Levels.io has. Like, the man can tweet, and the man has a very large audience, and he can turn shit into gold like that, essentially, because he has such good distribution. So I completely agree with you. And that's a big reason why we do these Solana circuit streams, is because not only do we want to amplify Raikou, but we also want to amplify the builders on Solana. So we hope this stream is a net benefit to Solana's ecosystem and helps us all win. But for the most part, it's just me and David kind of just rambling to the void and praying for the best. But I think we do an okay job. But I just completely agree with you on that point on distribution. I mean, Jurassic Fine never would have raised that much money without the proper distribution, and you guys absolutely killed it. So congrats on that. Terrible segue into my next question, and I'd love an answer from all three of you. I guess it's an okay segue. Why did you choose to build on Solana? There's a lot of different crypto ecosystems out there. What drew you guys to Solana? We'll start with Sora to put you on the spot there.
Yeah, so actually I was originally an Ethereum user, and the project I worked on for 3 years was on both Ethereum and Arbitrum. So yeah, Solana, I call it's the people, so like everyone can afford it as a user. First of all, anyone can afford to create anything on it, and the people are just better. I don't know how to describe it. Even when I was working in marketing on the Ethereum, like, it's super hard to market. Those people are super boring. And here, people are chill, people are fun, people like to actually talk, and they're active on Twitter, and communities are actually active. And other than that, I have something really good to say. Yeah, where else do you get such notification and like foundation itself, from Solana? On Ethereum, like for conferences, they give organizers like 15K for a conference, and here, they give like $500,000 for a hacker house. That plus I can come here and I can be like, hey, can Solana retweet me? You can do that on Ethereum.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like even from so I've been around since like around Solana since very very early. And it's just always like it's been very foundation led, in the sense that the focus has always been on the people building cool stuff. It's not on like, hey, we're gonna talk all about all this theory and why we think we're the best and what might possibly happen. It's like, no, okay, here are the tools. Like, yeah, we built this tool, this thing. What can we do to support you? How is the stuff we built broken? How can it get better? Like, it's very, very product focused. That just generates, I think, just like this level of like excitement in people where they're like, oh, I can just go. It's literally like you can just do things, and other people are also cheering for you to go do the thing.
You can do the thing. Right?
Yeah, 100%. Amen. Amen. It looks like Marco's battery is about to die. So why don't you answer this question real quick before your laptop rugs you?
Yeah, I'm going to plug it in right now. Sorry.
You're good. You're good. All right, Vukan, we'll go to you. Why did you choose Solana?
Yeah. Well, I have quite a similar answer to Sora. I've also been a Ethereum ecosystem guy, going to a lot of Ethereum conferences as well. And I've seen the culture start to die. I'm a very, I'm a very big on culture guy. So if you're telling me crypto culture, there's only really one project that kind of made it away and it kind of really made a big impact, and that's Milady. I think that's kind of the poster project for Ethereum. If you ask me why I love Ethereum, it's because I think the culture that stemmed from the Milady community is something beautiful, and that's where I really got deep into crypto with that. I even hosted one of those Milady raves back in 2024, and some really fun stuff. But I've seen that it's slowly been going away from Ethereum, probably because the community started being smaller and smaller. Obviously, with fractionalization, with all the L2s, people started making their own communities on Base and on Arbitrum and on all the different L2s, and you kind of got the fragmentation. Ethereum kind of lost its soul. The foundation isn't supporting the community as much as it should. And then of course that kind of culture movement is dying out. You had some of those, I mean, all the craziest meme coins back in 23, 24, if you think Pepe, if you think Mog, if you think any of those, they were all on Ethereum. And then everyone kind of, even from those communities, saw that they were slowly starting to die off on Ethereum. They made bridges on Solana, they relaunched on Solana, whatever it happened. But the culture started to die down on Ethereum pretty sharply in like 24, late 24. And at the same time, Solana, which just died because of FTX, is starting to go up again, and the community is starting to wake up again, and things are going on, and you have these fun apps starting to pop up. And at the time, as you have Ethereum going like this, Solana going like this, and Solana just continued going up. All the clients we started getting from for Blockformer were Solana clients, and we got to the point where it's like, okay, at this point it just makes sense to fully abandon the ship of Ethereum and be fully Solana aligned, work with Solana projects, be very close with Superteam Balkan, work with everyone in the ecosystem, and it's just much better culture, better community, better people, better support. And I don't really see how anyone could choose any other ecosystem than Solana right now.
Absolutely agree. On the point about Milady, that's the funny thing too, because I agree. Like that's one of the like Ethereum's sort of greatest culture exports, and the foundation hates Milady. Like the Ethereum Foundation does not like anything to do with them. It's like I get why you might not like some of the stuff that's I get why you might not want to align with everything to do with Milady.
Yeah, no, of course. But then you
like
look at Solana, which then made Luminaries, which is like kind of that type of crazy culture moment where they're trying to push the boundaries of like what's cool, what's fine, what's not fine. They have a whole branch to do this, and Ethereum instead is like, oh, we don't even want any of that stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Marco, glad to see you back with us, your brother. Yeah, what brought you to Solana, man? Like, what was the draw for you?
So I'd first say I hardly agree with Sora and Vukan, and they covered most of the things. So what brought me to Solana is ZenDAO. I have already said that, but also I experienced Ethereum and how unusable was it for me. So I was like 17 years old when I first experienced it and crypto and everything. I wrote a lot of books. For example, there is one Serbian writer who wrote like 2 or 3 books just about Bitcoin and that stuff, digital economy, crypto, and how it will work here in Serbia, because we had crypto regulation like I think almost before MiCA in Europe, so it was really early regulation, and I was just curious about that and how this stuff works. So I experienced Ethereum. Bitcoin was too expensive for me, and I experienced Ethereum because of my like friends who were doing already something in crypto. So what brought me to Solana are actually NFTs, and NFTs on Ethereum were really expensive, and it was really expensive to mint them. So I just like found about that community. Actually, Marco was he was like a TikTok influencer kind of guy. He recorded videos, short videos about Solana. Hey, I'm minting this thing. Hey, I sold this thing for profit. Hey, Solana can do that. Ethereum can do this. So I found about everything, and like found my way to join the ZenDAO. I can't remember how I met Marco first time, but it was really like great experience for me, like finding about that community and that kind of people that are not like people on Ethereum, that kind of people like they are on Ethereum, that Sora and Vukan said. So I'll not like I'll keep it short, this short.
I have one more question for you, Marco. When are we getting Marco DAO? I feel like that's maybe a next natural step here. Not that I can join, of course, but you know.
Yeah. So I think if I ever have like if I ever will be dead, my son maybe could be Marco as well, and Marcos could be Marcos, or our sons could make a DAO and continue this stuff that we are doing today. I'm not joking.
Got to bring the legacy on chain.
Yeah.
All right, so we have about 7 minutes left. I think a good way to wrap up the stream is to just go around the circle and let people know where they can find out more about what you're building, what you're doing, what action items they can take. We'll start with Vukan. You said there was an ownership FM Shark Tank thing this Friday. Would love to hear more about that.
Yeah. So we do these monthly. We've done three so far. I mean, this is going to be the third one. We've done 2 so far, and they're wonderful because we get a panel of 5 judges who are like from top Solana teams, and then we just get 10 different teams to pitch, which are also from like our communities, our network, but also people who just reach out via Twitter. And it's a beautiful stream. It's around 2 hours, and we do these monthly. But we have so much content going out on ownership. So if anyone wants to learn more about MetaDAO ownership coins, also ownership is proudly supported by MetaDAO and by Umbra Privacy. So we have also the biggest ecosystem teams directly supporting us. So if anyone wants to learn more and get deeper into the MetaDAO ecosystem, the ownership ecosystem, all you have to do, follow Ownership FM, also on TikTok, also on Instagram, also on YouTube. And if you want to learn more about what I do and follow the journey, there's a lot of things. There's Blockformer, there's Ownership, there's Jurassic. It's so many things going on. I also do a lot of live streams, just some gaming live streams, while talking about crypto and the newest things that are going on in crypto. So I do a lot of content, a lot of stuff. If anyone wants to keep up, it's just Vukan, VUKAN 0x on Twitter. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Thank you, sir. Sora, where can people learn more about Jurassic Fi and kind of get involved into your ecosystem?
Yeah, they can learn more about it on Jurassic Fi Twitter or mine Vukan's Twitter. I'm just gonna say keep loving dinosaurs and stay tuned because today we're launching one of the crazier announcements. Because as you see, like we post very little, so every time we post, it's worth it. So turn the notifications on for Jurassic Fi and just keep following your nature of loving dinosaurs, because I think that's embedded in all of us.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Stay tuned for announcements from the Chief Dino Officer. We'll definitely be looking out for that later today.
For sure. Keep loving dinosaurs. That's good advice. Marco, you said the best way for people to get involved in Superteam Balkan is to join the Telegram chat. Where can people find the link for that?
Yeah, there is a link tree actually on our X at Superteam Balkan, KN, so everyone can join it. I would like to take a second to mention we are hosting a Solana summit in Serbia this summer, this August, actually 26th and 27th. It will be a 2-day conference. Everyone is invited. It's a free conference in Sava Center in a huge congress center in Belgrade. So after Solana Summit in Germany, Solana Summit Serbia is going to be like the biggest Solana event in Europe this summer. So that's it from my side.
And it's free. So if anybody in that area of the world, no excuse not to go.
100%. The thing I love a lot about Solana is a lot of these events are free. Like Accelerate was free. And that was like a super high quality event held in Miami, which is not a cheap city to hold events in and rent conference space in. And even funnier, it was right over top of Consensus, which was charging like $1,000 per ticket, which is just insanely based. Solana does it best, and we know how to ball on a budget, so that's a beautiful thing. But thank you guys so much for coming to the stream, getting together, and joining us for the hour. Super excited to follow all of your journeys at Superteam Balkan, Jurassic Fi, Ownership FM. Do say hi to 8-Bit Penis for me, which I got to mention. It's pretty nice that we get a free pass to say 8-Bit Penis on stream because he's such a prolific member of Solana. Who can complain about that? But anyways, thank you guys so much for coming. And audience, we will see you on the Friday Raikou Town Hall in 2 days at 9 a.m. Eastern. Be there, be square. We'll be wrapping up everything that happened on Solana this week. And have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for hosting. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Peace out, everyone.